Hey, what's up guys? It's your man 4yam again, back with a new guide for V Rising. Today we're gonna talk about the best blood type in the game, just like I did with the weapons earlier this week. Because they really depend on your playstyle, build and the situation or goal in the game, I decided to go a little bit more in depth once again and talk about their strengths on every tier and rank them in overall performance. In this video, we're gonna cover all 6 blood types: Brute, Creature, Rogue, Warrior, Scholar and Worker blood, talk about the best option for your playstyle and rank them in general, so let's get right to it. First off, I would like to thank every single one of you guys for the positive feedback on my previous best weapon video and welcome all the newcomers to the channel. It would mean the world to me if you can hit that like button at the end of the video if you find it helpful, and also share your thoughts in the comments down below. Cheers! So, the blood types. There are 6 of them in total and each of them can be useful in different situations. These really depend on your playstyle, build and purpose in the game, and personally I don't really think it's interesting to only talk about the 100% quality blood types, as you might not have them in your base in the first place. So let's talk about their strengths in general, from lower percentage blood type bonuses to 100% performance. Pretty much summarize all 6 of them on one screen. So let's check them out. Alright, so we have Brute, Creature, Rogue, Scholar, Warrior and Worker blood. And these are pretty much the low quality bonuses which you get with the first tier. On Brute blood, it's gonna be a 7.5% primary life leech on the lowest quality, while with Creature blood you get a 3% movement speed. Rogue has 10% chance for critical strike, Scholar 12% increased spell power, Warrior 10% increased physical power, and the Worker gets a bonus to resource yield of 10%. Personally, I think the Brute, Scholar and Warrior blood is definitely top tier on lower quality types, as with the Brute blood guys, you have this life leech of 7.5% already, which is very powerful on low quality blood. With the Scholar, you already have a 12% increased spell power, so your damage output is going to be insane, especially with that Chaos Volley which you get your hands on early game, while with a Warrior blood you already have a 10% bonus damage to your basic attacks, so these 3 are hands down the ones you want to focus on. On tier 2 with Brute blood you increase your attack speed with your melee attacks, which is very nice, but the gear level gain by 1 is pretty useless. I mean, it will make you look more powerful, but in general it really doesn't do anything. While with a Creature blood you increase your sun resistance, which is very nice for PvP situations, in general roaming around during daytime. While with the Rogue blood we gain a very nice boost to our movement speed. We start with an 8%, while with a Creature you only have a 3%. So this one definitely beats it, and for PvP or roaming around in general without a mount, this one is gonna be top tier. With the Scholar blood we have a reduced cooldown on spells up to 15%. This one is very interesting if you're going with a caster build, while with Warrior blood we basically get the same result, but instead for spells we have the weapon skill cooldown reduction, also top tier in my opinion, and then also the Worker buff, which increases the damage against resource objects. Personally, I think the Worker blood is also very nice, both on tier 1 and tier 2, but in general it won't help you much in most situations. So for tier 2, I definitely think Rogue, Scholar and Warrior blood are king of the hill, as the movement speed increase right here will definitely make a difference in PvP situations, while the reduced cooldown on either spells or weapon skills is also gonna make your builds so much more powerful. Then for tier 3 we get some pretty interesting bonuses as well, especially for the Brute blood, because the healing received is increased by 20 to 35%, heal self for 4% of your victim's HP when striking a killing blow. So if you combine that with the tier 1, the primary attack life leech, boy oh boy, this will make you unstoppable on the battlefield. A true berserker. Already made a berserker build, which is in the top right of the screen by the way, but then for the Creature blood we get 10 to 20% damage reduction, while for the Rogue we have 12 to 25% cooldown on the travel skill, a 100% chance to critical strike on the next physical attack after using that skill as well, what I think is very nice. Then for the Scholar blood we get 5 to 10% spell life leech, and we already have increased spell power, reduced cooldown on those spells from the previous tiers, so this one is pretty interesting as well. While with the Warrior blood we have 7.5 to 15% reduced damage taken, and also a 25% damage bonus when striking enemies at full HP. So this one is gonna be very interesting when engaging on enemies, but once you lose some HP, you'll basically lose this bonus as well, while with the Worker Blood we get increased mount gallop speed up to 20%, which can of course be nice if you want to travel from A to B very fast, but once you go into combat, this is pretty useless. So in general, the top tier picks for tier 3 blood are gonna be Brute Blood, Creature and Rogue. As with Creature you will have a lot of damage reduction, while with Rogue your travel skill becomes a lot better, but Brute in my opinion is the best one on this tier, with all that extra healing with your life leech. I really love this one. Anyways, let's move on to tier 4, the final tier with unique bonuses for every single blood type. As with tier 5, we basically increase all bonuses by 30% on every single one of them. So with the Brute Blood we get a 6% chance per relative HP recovered to boost both movement speed and attack damage of primary attacks by 20 to 25%. This one is definitely top tier, a fantastic boost. While for the Creature Blood we get a 150% increased health regeneration. I personally think this one isn't very powerful. It can be useful if you're roaming very fast, going from A to B with your horse, and you don't really want to heal up. While with a Rogue Blood, boy oh boy, we get a 50% chance of critical strike to expose the victim's armor. Increases the damage taken from all different sources, so not only from primary attacks but also spells by 15% for 4 seconds. So this one can be very useful in PvP as well, or mainly in PvE. If you have a high crit chance, this one will apply almost all the times and your enemy is just gonna take so much more damage. I really love this one. While with the Scholar Blood we get a pretty big RNG ability, a 20% chance to reset our spell cooldown on cast. This one can happen a lot, while sometimes it never happens when you need it most, so that's why I think this one can be a little bit frustrating. And with the Warrior Blood we get another very powerful one, 50% chance to parry attacks, reducing damage taken by 50%, and parrying an attack also increases your own damage by 25%. If we combine this one with previous tiers, even more increased physical power and reduced damage taken, this one is top tier as well, will make warrior builds very interesting for different situations. While with the Worker Blood we get a 3% chance to instantly destroy a resource node and trigger the burst of speed, so increased attack speed when we continue to harvest resources. And I personally feel that this 3% chance on paper is actually a lot more in game. Guys, definitely let me know what you think, but sometimes it really feels like a 10% chance to instantly destroy these nodes, so I'd love to hear your thoughts about that as well. Now, the Kings of the Hill for tier 4. I personally think Brute and Warrior Blood win this one big time, as the bonuses provided with tier 4 will give you so much more survivability, increase your damage output big time. First, the Brute Blood. If you recover HP, you will increase your movement speed and also your attack damage, which is gonna be very interesting for both PvE and PvP. Will make it easier to engage, disengage, and will make you so much more scary on the battlefield. While with the Warrior Blood, the 15% chance to parry attacks is a fantastic bonus as well, and this reduces your damage taken by 50%. Add that up with the previous bonuses and you will become an ultimate juggernaut, guys. Also increase your own damage by 25% when you do this. Man, this sounds terrifying when it happens, and trust me guys, it is. Anyways, like with the previous tiers, I wanted to pick a third winner, and it was very difficult to determine this one. Either Rogue or Scholar, but I went with Scholar as the chance to reset spell cooldown on cast can happen a lot more frequently than you think. I know it's RNG, but when it does, you can literally blow up enemies on the battlefield, and this is just so much fun. And then of course we also have the tier 5, which basically boosts all the above effects by 30%, which is the same on every single blood type. Of course you want to make sure to secure this 100%. It will make your builds so much more powerful. But in general, I think the Brute Blood is a fantastic pick if you want to have some extra survivability, be able to just snowball your way through big packs of mobs without losing any HP pretty much, or well, you will heal back everything. And of course, when you do that, you will increase your movement speed, your damage output. For PvE, this is gonna be a top tier pick for you, while for PvP, it might be a little bit more difficult to benefit from these bonuses, as the lifesteal with the primary attacks is not always gonna happen because people are just gonna dash away when you get too close. So this one definitely deserves a rank, while the creature blood is awesome to have if you're in the early stages of the game. If you want to have some extra survivability out there in the wild, like the movement speed will be great for PvP, both engaging and disengaging from combat. And you also have that boost to sun resistance, which can definitely help if you want to roam around during the daytime. Increased damage reduction and also the health regeneration will add up even more to your survivability. And that basically makes it so you don't have to drain your blood on a regular basis to get back to full HP. So creature blood can be useful. Personally, I'd say B rank. Then we have a fantastic blood type for PvP, the Rogue Blood, with increased critical strike chance, and when you do strike, you also have that chance to expose the armor of enemies to further increase their damage taken. Also the extra movement speed, which is gonna make it a lot better in comparison with the creature bonus, even on lower tiers, while you have the reduced cooldown on your travel skill, so a lot more maneuverability, easier to disengage and re-engage in combat. So I think it's an A rank blood as well, as it doesn't perform as good as in PvE, so basically Brute PvE, Rogue PvP. Then we have the Scholar blood with increased spell power and also the reduced cooldown on spells, the lifesteal with spells, and even the chance to reset your spell cooldown on casting. This one definitely deserves S rank, guys. Prove me wrong if you don't agree, but I think the same counts for the warrior blood, because with all this increased physical power, especially when you're parrying attacks, this will make it even more powerful, so it's very scary for your enemies when you have to deal with the warrior blood. And no, the warrior blood doesn't come with lifesteal, which is very good with the brute blood, but in general you don't want to focus on this. You want to have extra damage output, extra tankiness when it comes to PvP, while brute blood of course is definitely gonna shine on the battlefield in PvE situations. And then we also have the Worker Blood. I'd say S rank if you love to gather resources. It's without doubt the best one to get your hands on if you're just out there farming that iron and copper. But in general, if you're taking this one into PvP or trying to beat a boss with it, it's probably gonna be just a C rank. Guys, that is pretty much it. My ranking for all blood types. If you liked it, if you found it helpful, make sure to leave a like. It helps out the channel big time. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts about my ranking of all these blood types. What you think about the different tiers and bloods in general in different situations. I'd love to get a discussion started in the comment section. Anyways, right now it is 4 AM out. Time to work on my next project. Probably a new build with the Scholar blood, as I already did a Berserker build with the Brute blood and axes. But yeah, there's still so much to cover. I am in love with the game, guys. I honestly am. Anyways, have an awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.